Hello friends, has this happened to you? You went to the store, you bought yourself some fruits and veg, intended to do some juicing, and a few days later this happened. You put it in the fridge, didn't you? And you thought, I'll make a juice at some point this week. And what happens? You just get this container of sadness in your fridge. Don't worry, this is not a you problem. This is where you buy your produce problem. Let me explain. Today I'm breaking down exactly why your Trader Joe's produce keeps dying on you, where you should actually be buying your fruit and vegetables for your smoothies and juices, and the strategy that I make sure I stick to ensure I have nutritious, tasty, no wilted kale. Now don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to stop shopping at Trader Joe's. I know you love your Trader Joe's, so do I. Their frozen section is incredible. Their spice aisle, chef's kiss. But their fresh produce, now that's an issue for me. We need to have an honest conversation, don't we? Almost everything in Trader Joe's produce section is pre-packed. Spinach in the bag, strawberries, plums in a clamshell, they're all packaged. And here's why that matters. When produce gets packaged, it's sealed with reduced airflow. That slows down the ripening process. That also means by the time it hits the store shelf, it has already been picked, sorted, packaged, put on a truck and been sitting in a warehouse. We're talking potentially 7 to 10 days before it lands in your cart, ready for you to make juice or smoothie with. At the moment, a piece of fruit or vegetable is picked from the ground or the vine, it begins to lose its nutrients. It starts losing water content, starts breaking down. So by the time you get this kale home, it's wilted, started to brown. It was already old when you bought it. Now that's fine if you're grabbing something to cook for the same night, wonderful. But if you're juicing or making smoothies, you need to start from the freshest point you can to make sure you get those nutrients into your body. Because you cannot juice or create smoothies to aid your health if you're starting with old, ailing fruit. You just can't. So here's the question I want you to think about right now. If your goal with juices and smoothies is to flood your body with wonderful nutrients and vitamins and minerals, almost like a nutrient IV, why would you start with fruits and vegetables that have gone past halfway through their life already? It just doesn't make sense. You deserve better than that. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get it. So where should you shop? Let me walk you through my personal strategy. Where I go, what I buy there, and why. My first go-to place for good fruit and vegetables, farmers market. Farmers market is the gold standard when we're coming to great fruit and vegetables. We all know this. I'm at Union Square Green Market and Morningside Farmers Market any Saturday I can make it. And if you live in New York and you're not going there, we need to talk. Produce from the farmers market is usually picked 1 to 2 days prior to coming to you for sale. And usually the farmer that grew it is standing right by you when they're selling it. You can ask them when it's harvested. You can ask them what variety of fruit it is. You can't do that at a grocery store. Now farmers markets doesn't have everything. And so when I've got all I can get from the farmers market, or I'm not able to get to the farmers market, I shop at Fresh Direct. Now, I'm lucky. I live in New York City, where there is produce is readily available all over the place. And Fresh Direct, which is a, what is it? It's an online grocery store. They do a lot of shopping or sourcing of products direct from farmers. Awesome. So I get a wonderful array of produce coming to my home that is nicely fresh and lasts very long. The majority of what I have here today has come from Fresh Direct, from farmers, Fresh Direct. I mean, this kale, to be honest with you, is I would say it's like a few days old. Look at how gorgeous, just how gorgeous this kale is. So yes, I like, if I can, whatever I can get from Fresh Direct, that is, from farms, that's my go-to as well. So much like buying from a farmer's market, buying from a online site that buys directly or sources its product directly from farmers means, again, the amount of time the produce leaves from the market to your cart or to straight to your home in this case is much smaller. That's the key here. And that's why I continue to buy from Fresh Direct. Take some time to do some research to see if there's any, if you don't live in New York City, if there are any kind of vendors, online services that buy direct from farmers that could get delivered to you. I think that's always a great idea, if you can get it. If you can get it. So there are times when Fresh Direct doesn't have exactly what I want, something's out of stock, or I've changed my mind on what I'm going to cook for the week and I have to run to the grocery store. I run to Whole Foods. I know what you're going to say. Oh my goodness, does she buy her produce from somewhere cheap? Well, to be honest, I like to buy my produce from places that do good produce, fresh produce. So sadly, it won't be the cheapest options. As we all know, Whole Foods is not. But it can be at times. They have a great, but the reason I go there is because they have high turnover. A lot of shoppers coming in, they get their produce, it goes out the door. New produce comes in, goes out the door. This is what you want. You want somewhere where it's not, you're not buying produce that's been languishing on the shelves for weeks. No, these are not ingredients for smoothies or juices. You want fresh produce. I mean, I don't want them for anything. I don't want old fruit or vegetables for anything, but particularly for juicing. You want it as fresh as possible. So you want to buy your produce from places where there's high turnover. And Whole Foods is it. Whole Foods leafy greens, their berries, consistently fresher, from my experience, consistently fresher than Trader Joe's. For juicing, their organic celery, cucumbers, and ginger are excellent. In fact, whenever I can, I run off to Whole Foods to get their ginger. That is my favorite place. They do the big ginger. It's nice and fresh. As I said, people are always in there buying ginger, so it's fresh produce on a regular basis. Love to buy my ginger from Whole Foods. One thing I must remember to share with you, and it's something I've noticed quite a few people get confused. When you're juicing, particularly when you're juicing, you need quite a bit of vegetable in order to make that juice. When we're talking about leafy greens, buy the bunch. Buy it in a bunch. Try and stay away from the clamshell. Much more economically viable to buy a bunch. You can just trim this here and juice the whole thing. If you buy a clamshell, a lot of the time you'll find that they've cut all of this off. You're losing. This is nutrients. We don't want to lose that. So try your best to buy bunched leafy greens whenever you can when you're juicing. You save yourself some money. Now, what about when I want something like a papaya, nice fresh piece of papaya, nice tropical fruit, a pretty pineapple? Where do I go? Now, sometimes it will be my online shopping store, Fresh Direct or Whole Foods, but really, where I really like to go is to either a Latin or Asian store. They have the best tropical fruit. Love them. You can get beautiful mangoes. Oh, they have all varieties of different types of dragon fruit, lychee or lychee, depending on how you pronounce it, all kinds of things. And they move more volume. They have the customer base to make sure the volume is moved. So again, the produce is coming in and it's going out. Now, some of the pricing can be rather dodgy, so you have to watch out for pricing in the Latin and Asian stores. Keep your eye on it. Make sure you know what things should cost before you literally obliterate your budget on in one of those stores. Often the price relates to availability, so shop smart. Now, for you bulk shoppers, Costco is a great place, another great place to buy your produce. Again, high traffic, lots of customers. The produce comes in, goes out that door. Great place to buy some fresh produce because the turnover is fantastic. Now, if you're getting value from this, hit that like button to let me know you came by. It truly helps more people find us. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Viella. And on this channel, we talk about all things food. Real talk, practical tips, no fluff. So subscribe and come back and see what else we talk about. Let's get back to what we were talking about before. Now, here's what became a real game changer for me. Freezing changed everything for me, particularly when making smoothies. And I think it's going to change things for you too. Stop sleeping on frozen produce. I grew up, I don't know about you, but I grew up thinking that frozen meant less, less than, less fresh. People that perhaps couldn't afford the good stuff or didn't care enough to go to the store. And that is completely backwards. Here's the truth. Frozen fruit and vegetables are picked at their peak ripeness. There's that moment when they have the most nutrients. Flash frozen in hours, that locks everything in. The vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, it's all preserved. Costco's frozen selection is exceptional for smoothies. They have frozen mango, berries, blends, frozen spinach. They're all excellent quality, all very affordable in bulk. Trader Joe's frozen fruit is fabulous. It's a great option, particularly if you are not a bulk buyer. So the bag of frozen mangoes from Costco's or Trader Joe's might literally be more nutritious than the fresh mangoes sitting on the shelf in the grocery store. Go figure. I think it's important to understand why we're doing this. When you juice or make a smoothie, you're concentrating nutrients. Single green juice can have the equivalent of 3 or 4 servings of vegetables in one glass. That's powerful. That's food medicine. That power is directly tied to the quality you put in. Depleted vegetables will give you a nutrient depleted juice. Buy yourself some organic fruit and vegetable. Make sure it's fresh. You've got your freezer to back you up. You're worth it. So make sure you put some good produce in to give the body the nutrients it needs. So I'm not saying skip Trader Joe's. After all that, I'm not saying skip Trader Joe's. Not completely. When it comes to fresh produce, there are better alternatives, and you can always rely on Trader Joe's for their frozen produce. Now I want to know, where do you buy your good produce from? Where's your go-to stores? Drop a comment. I'm really interested in where you go. Perhaps there's a store I missed out, something you're thinking, hang on a minute, what about this store? Drop a comment and let me know. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. But until then, eat well.